that whenever I grate cheese, I put it in the red bowl. Look at how this just pops. I could start my own restaurant, Steph.
With grated cheese.
Just with grated cheese, that's beautiful, is it not? Look at it. My parents did teach me to make this. Let's see if they'll be proud of what we've done here. Well, hello, and welcome to Cooking with Pastor Mike. And I have a very special assistant with me today. Just found her roaming the streets of our neighborhood, but I let her come in. She's staying with us now. She's also my daughter. Welcome, Stephanie, to the program.
Thank you.
Now, you know what we're doing today. We're cooking a very special Fabarez recipe. So when you run off and get married and your name gets changed, don't forget this recipe. It's important.
I won't.
That's right. And what do we call it?
Open-faced tacos.
We know that an open-faced taco is a tostada, but we don't care. That's what we call them. We're going to teach you how to cook this recipe. It's even got the name of my dad at the top of it, which I don't think it's his recipe, but I think it was his mom's recipe. Nevertheless, we're going to cook it as though we needed this. We don't really need this.
I think we're going to need it.
Well, okay, we'll find out if I need that. We have some, some ground beef. That's going to be good. I wasn't going to make my own beans from the garden, but I didn't have time. So here's where I buy my beans from. Where do we buy our beans?
La School in Drines.
And what does that mean in Spanish, since you studied Spanish in the government schools?
They didn't teach me that.
They didn't? Okay, well, I think it means something about birds. I'm not sure. All right, we got garlic powder, we got black pepper, we've got El Guapo.
La Fiesta.
I bet you know what both of those mean, right?
Sure.
Okay. All I know is gordo. I know gordo. That means fat.
Yeah, it does.
And of course, Stater Brother cheese. And I should show you what we do every time we start this dish or any dish that involves cheese. I have to sample the cheese to make sure it's what I like. Actually, I have a special cheese knife. Let me show you that. I thought I cut myself, but I didn't. Look at this cheese knife right here. I thought I cut myself. My assistant, you want to have the first piece? Cheese is like the best thing that God ever allowed us to figure out how to make. Besides what he made, avocados, but I cut the cheese. It's sharp, yep. Cut the cheese. There's a junior high joke right there for you. What kind of tortillas do we use? Romero.
Corn tortillas?
Oh, yeah. All right. First thing we do, the meat. If I'm giving you the impression that I'm in the kitchen a lot, but it's not true.
No.
Matter of fact, this is only one of two things that I actually make. I also make breakfast every Christmas. What do I make for Christmas breakfast?
You make eggs and bacon.
Eggs and bacon, but you know what I thought? When I did it this year, I thought that's the last time I'm gonna do it. I don't know. I just don't. I don't know. I don't like doing it. But man, I like this dish. Oil right there. We're gonna use to fry up the tortillas, which is so good. Tell us about your apron, Steph.
Revival Hospitality. Before I became a student in 7th grade. Didn't go to elementary school.
We didn't send her to school until she went to junior high.
I was too smart for elementary school.
Whoa, too smart. And too humble. That's right. Too humble for church.
He taught me that.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay.
I served the food at Lake Havasu before I was a student, and then had to quit when I was in 7th grade. But I'm coming back.
If the Lord wills. My young Fabarez daughter. Ground beef is great, but you better season the ground beef, so with salt.
It's going back in the cabinet.
I don't know why that was even out. Pepper, of course. Do we brown this before we put any of the other stuff in it?
You do all the other stuff too.
I don't think that's right. What? Hold on. Let us check this. Oh, it says with onions too. We don't have onions. All right, well, this is gonna take a little bit to brown, but with the magic of video, we'll be right back, and you know what's gonna happen? It's gonna be brown. Now, these are mini cans, and then by the way, gotta continue to have a little bit of cheese along the way. I don't think we put that in quite yet, but at least we're taking the tops off the cans. Just remember when we were poor. Oh, is this on camera? I don't think our meat was this lean. Does it cost more to have lean meat? So this is probably the best meat in Orange County.
Costco?
I don't know. I remember pouring out the grease in something else. What do we pour it out in? Like a coffee cup? It's been used right there, chipping in pieces. Now, since I'm colorblind, does that look like it's browned enough? Does it? Yes. Is it? Is that funny to you? As I recall, right, we get the grease out. That is something we do, right? No, we don't?
Nope.
Are you sure? I think we do. I'm almost positive. I remember this. I think it's right. It's all I remember. I remember we take the grease out.
I just like that you're spooning out
Because if my
grease into
my
a
parents
edge
watch
up.
this, they're gonna
Right.
go, "You didn't do it the right way. Didn't do it the way I taught you." I kind of learned by watching.
This looks gross.
Is this not right? I think it is right. I'm almost
I
positive.
don't think.
We're gonna see. We're gonna see if I make this as well as Carlin makes it. There's people watching going, "That's not what you do." All right, well, that's what I do.
Mom.
Don't let Carlin watch this, please. Now I know this, and this is the fun part. When I was a kid, I got to do that. We fill some water up in one of these, I think, right?
That is right.
Filtered water, because you know, tap water in Laguna Hills. We used to drink out of the hose when I was a kid. And let's put some good Mexican spices in it. We need to open it up. Here, I got a knife. There should be knives everywhere in the, which one was this? Mild chili,
teaspoon.
2T. What does that mean? Is that a teaspoon or a tablespoon?
That's a teaspoon.
Flat, is that how you do it?
Yep.
All right, look at
That's
me.
not flat.
It wasn't it? I don't think the pocket knife should be needed in a professional kitchen, should it? Melba and Jake, I'm sorry, because I don't think that's what we did. I know there was more of one. Cumin, how much of the cumin?
Same 2 teaspoons.
Yeah, it doesn't seem right. Garlic?
Powder.
Okay. How much of that do I put in here?
Half a teaspoon.
This looks chunky. I think that we should have more of this.
Okay.
It smells good.
It's not gonna taste right.
Isn't it? Okay, well, I won't put a lot. It wasn't sanitary to put it back in there, was it? Do we really measure pepper out? Let's just eyeball
Okay.
it. 2 teaspoons of salt? That
Yeah.
seems like too
You want
much.
to taste? Good.
Now, Steph, we should probably...
Hey, it looks right.
Why don't you throw those cans away, and then we'll cut up lettuce and tomatoes. I have no idea if all the spices are quite right, but reduce it. Let's let it reduce. And I remember as a kid not knowing what to do with
Just drink it.
the
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
here, stuff I don't really care for on my open-faced tacos. And we should note that we've washed our hands multiple times.
And then after you do this, you wash it.
Oh, we do.
dirty
Smart.
stuff
That's so
from-
smart. Well, she's doing that. I'm gonna do my favorite part. I do like shredding the cheese, so look at this thing right here.
What's it called?
I don't know. Cuisinart. But watch what happens. I'm sure everyone's watching has already seen this. I'm trying to figure out how to turn it off. Look at that. I stacked 2 on top of there. Don't try this at home. That was probably unsafe too, the way I just put it there. No, this is so you don't get your fingers in there, right? You probably could cause some damage. That's good. And then here's the thing I always like is eating these little balls of cheese are always on the food processor.
You can tell we've had a lot of cheese today.
I love the cheese.
So far.
Best thing ever. Another good use for the pocket knife right here. Okay. I won't touch any of the food till I wash my hands. Whenever I grate cheese, I put it in the red bowl. Look at that. Put that on the table. I could start my own restaurant, Steph.
With grated cheese.
With grated cheese, that's beautiful, is it not? So good. Oh, we don't want to burn anything. You can't smell it. But man, I'm telling you, it smells good. Little too much garlic in it. And you know what? We got to get our beans too heated up. All right, we should probably work on heating that up, right? Let's see, let's go home. Look at that. It's not what I want, is it? Microwave. Is that what I want? Cooking methods? How about the microwave? Is that what you do? Is it working?
Yeah, I'm surprised you got it on.
I got it on.
It's good.
All right, Steph's cutting up the tomatoes. Tomatoes are good. Now I'm gonna be really careful. How do we normally do this? Just slice them into pieces, right?
Yeah, just
Look at that. Now I'm sure professional cooks do this a lot faster than I do. We do it like this, right?
Yep.
Looks good.
You went to seminary.
Seminary, yeah. They didn't teach me to do this. How do you keep yourself from cutting yourself? I've seen a little bit on the internet about that. It's so slow. I want to get good at it so I can do quickly. I say that, but I don't really. I don't really care. I don't really care to get better at it. Is this probably boiling over by now? Look at that, man. To Mom from Matthew, May 13th, 2007, for Mother's Day. Oh, look at that. How sweet. Here's one of the funnest parts of doing open-faced tacos. Now, I remember as a kid, this is probably wrong too, but we used to take a little bit of water and throw it in the grease to see if it's ready. And then it pops, but it didn't pop, so.
It's not on.
Isn't it?
Oh, now it's on.
Well, the house is gonna blow up if it's not on because the gas has been on for a long time. Cleaning up is not the fun part. I think if you really have your own show though. Oh, you're taping. You just caught me putting my fingers in my mouth again, didn't you? Safety first. All right. Oh man, that wasn't long enough. You got that on camera too, but.
I did it for 20 seconds.
We used to always put a little drop of water in there to see what happens. Yeah, look at that. Now we know it's ready. And keep it in there in just a short amount of time. And that way they get nice and crispy. Sometimes, if no one's around, I start eating them before they make it to the table.
Whoa, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're really good with a little bit of salt on them. Matter of fact, just to make sure, we'll get the first one here. Put a little cheese on that. We don't even need the open-faced tacos. That right there, take a bite of that, baby. I left you a little piece, but
Thank you.
there you go. Steph, why don't you get a couple placemats out and you and I will have,
Just 2?
yeah, that's all we need. Look at that. Does that not look good? I mean, a fried tortilla is like at the top of the food pyramid, I think. Right? Look at that. So good. Okay. So there's our paper plate. Are you thankful for this meal?
I am thankful.
Gonna be good. Now here's how we do this. Get your tortilla. Gotta find just the right one. Gotta start with the beans. So the beans go on first, and then you put this good stuff on here like this. Get your beans on there, baby. Here's 2 ways to eat this. She's gonna show you the right way to eat it. I'm gonna show you Mike's way to eat it. What I do is just put generous amounts of cheese on it. I think you've learned at this point that cheese is really good in my mouth. I know that doesn't look like much to you. That's it. That's a home run right there. See, Steph does it right. She'll put a little sour cream on it. She'll put some cheese on it. Because what does mom say? Have something that grows out of the ground, right?
Yes.
All right, some tomatoes. Do you put tomatoes?
I don't do tomatoes.
And do you do any of this? No, you
we
don't?
normally do.
Okay, well, we're obviously gonna have our cameraman eat some of this too. So now a lot of people pick their tostadas up and eat them. It's not how the Fabarez family does it. You take a fork and you just eat right off of it, which seems kind of funny now that I'm saying that on camera, but this is the best. That right, and this is how I eat it. And I'm always forced to eat a little lettuce after I'm done because Carlin's very big on eating stuff that grows out of the ground. So, but I eat it just like this. For doing it myself, except for a little too much garlic. I shouldn't have put so much garlic in it. It smelled so good in the container. But let me show you how we finish eating this. Open faced taco number 1. Put a little salt on it. Just like that. I don't know why we do this, but we all do it, right? Mm-hmm. You just eat the tortilla. After all that's kind of soaked into it. That's basically why you're eating everything off the top of it.
Yes.
So you can get to that taste right there. And I'll tell you what, for all this being kind of like fun, like let's just have Pastor Mike do a cooking thing, I'm telling you what, you do this, you will thank me for this. It is so good.
So good.
At least this part is like the best. I hope you enjoyed the show today. Did you enjoy being on it?
I did.
My first
It
guest.
was lots of fun.
That's right, my own daughter. Bon appetit, I think is what they say.
Yeah.
Do they not?
They do.
But in Spanish, how do they say it?
No idea.
Yeah, no idea. But in English, we say enjoy.